Hello, wonderful attendees. I'm your host, Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's topic step into the future with the careers in AR, VR, and Metaverse. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Dr. Atul Malhotra, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and Engineering, lovely professional university, a seasoned cybersecurity practitioner and trainer. With over 12 plus years of experience in the field, his expertise lies in network routing and cybersecurity, where he actively contributes through research and practical training. So now I would like to introduce Mr. Rohit Srivastava also in this webinar. Welcome, Mr. Rohit. He's serial entrepreneur and cybersecurity expert. He brings a deep expertise to the forefront of digital defense. Mr. Srivastava is the leading voice in the global cybersecurity arena and more. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in the end of this webinar. Now I'm going to hand over this session to our experts, Dr. Atul Malhotra and Mr. Rahul Srivastava, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from them. Over to you both.
Yeah, thank you, Dalvinder. Thank you for the introduction. And this time we have come up with a new program with specialization in augmented reality and virtual reality along with Metaverse. And this program has been initiated with not just a single company, but it is basically a group of companies. So we have with us Mr. Rohit Srivastava, who is a serial entrepreneur who has started his career as a cybersecurity professional, and now he has jumped into multiple avenues, including the metaverse, AR and VR. So, so Bharatverse is a new venture which he is taking care of, but he has a strong backing of multiple companies, multiple experiences, a broad portfolio of expertise. So over to you, Mr. Rohit. I would request you to please just make our prospective candidates delve into the world of AR VR.
Thanks, Dr. Atul. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here for the webinar. Today, we will be discussing about what is this AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, and what are the career prospects in this domain, how you can learn and make big out of this upcoming domain, which is not very active right now, but by the time you finish your education, there's a good plethora of activities that you can go ahead and onboard on. So without further ado, I'll start the discussion. So basically, what is AR VR? Let's try to understand it from a real world perspective. An AR or an augmented reality is something where while you are in a domain, while you are in your realm, you have your computer, you have keyboard, mouse, phone, water bottle, the world around you. There are a lot of things which is not there. If you can digitally bring in a few more stuff along with you in that space, that's called as augmented reality. It's a reality which is augmented on top of the real reality. So suppose well, you can do a lot of interesting aspect in augmented reality. I'll take one example. I make a 3D model of say Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, put it next to me and sit and have a conversation with him. There's a static 3D object, but it is not in person available in front of me, but the viewers will get a perception that, oh, there is a party in front of you. Or you can have any other stuff like a mini object model, scale down model, scale up model of any stuff. All of that in the real world, while you're seeing your computer as well, while you're seeing your keyboard as well, something else virtually available, visible only to you via a special interface. That could be as simple as a mobile phone. To make it even more easy to understand, I'll give you an example. You would have seen different filters and screens in your Instagram and Snapchat and app that Suddenly you can have a pair of glasses on top of you, you can have your horns coming out, or you can have bird flying around. What is that? A real world, real face, and an augmented reality around that. That's called as augmented reality. That's a little bit different from a thing called as virtual reality. In virtual reality, for all practical purpose, your current real world is cut off. You get into a virtual reality mode and you see only the virtual aspects, not the real aspect. That's the minor, smallest difference between augmented reality and virtual reality. How does it work? In case of a virtual reality, generally you would require a virtual reality glass. You would have seen, or maybe even on the background of this presentation slide, you can see the person wearing a glass on top of his head, the VR headset or a VR glass, where you get cut off from the real world and you see only the virtual environment around you. So much so that it gives you a feeling that you are at a particular place, in a particular area, absolutely away from the current reality. That's where you immerse digitally into that environment, replacing your real world. So the minor difference is, in augmented reality you have the real world, in virtual reality you do not have the real world visibility. Why does it matter today? Because the tech enhancement and advancement in this domain is helping in multiple industries. A lot of industries are getting benefited with the virtual reality, augmented reality. I'll give you an example. Think of a real estate building where your building construction is going on. Suppose it's a 30-story building. The sales has started, but the people who are going to buy, they do not have the building in front of them right now. So they do not know how the real world will look from the 29th floor or 25th floor. Augmented and virtual reality plays a very good role in there. You do a photorealistic capture at that particular height. Suppose each floor is say 10 feet. So multiplied by 10, you go to 290 feet. And from there, take a shot of across the area. What we generally see in an advertisement today, everybody shows that, okay, there's only one building and this everything is green. That's not the reality. The reality is there are surroundings, there are buildings around that. How will it look if you get a view from the 29th floor today? It helps you make your decision that, okay, I want it on that particular floor and I want to see the world from that particular floor when I'm taking that apartment. That's just one example of AR VR utilization in real estate. Think of a student going in or joining a large automobile industry. Let's take an automobile example. You join a large car manufacturer, you have learned your stuff. Now the first training which is happening in the company, if it happens on metaverse, you don't have to actually go and open up a gearbox of an auto transmission vehicle. You can see that in the virtual reality. You can use your own hand to have a virtual spanner in your hand, open up the motor, open up the gearbox, look at the gears, how does it change, how does it work, without getting access to such a device. A lot of corporates are using that today because A, it becomes cheaper and easier, and B, it gives a real world experience to the students or the joinees. A lot of use cases are there currently and are being developed on a regular basis in the AR VR world. Post COVID world, the demand has even surged. We are seeing a lot of people wanting a lot of activities as basic as the induction program of a company when freshers join is happening on the metaverse, on the virtual reality. They get to meet the complete team on the metaverse and get a new immersive onboarding. And why it matters today? Because a lot of investment is happening from big tech in this domain. with the likes of Meta, Apple, Google, Microsoft, and a lot of other companies are doing a lot of investment in what we call more as a spatial computing, the computing which is happening around in the space of you. Right now, when you work, you can have one monitor, maximum two monitor. Think of a situation where you can wear a glass and then you can have seven monitors. Wherever you move your head, you have a monitor in front of you and you're working. That's becoming more and more active these days. Apple has invested big time into it with their Vision Pro glasses, and a lot of work is happening. That means a lot of content creation, a lot of application development in this domain is required. What is the industry growth and the market trend around the whole metaverse? There are sources which are referring it to be a $826 billion industry by 2032. So in next 6 to 7 years, the industry itself is going to be very, very big, and it can be used in multiple sectors, call it healthcare, education, retail, manufacturing, real estate. A lot of such domain are going to utilize metaverse, AR, VR, because it makes the product easy to understand, realistic, and at the same time affordable by the company. So if the company can afford it well, it becomes very good investment for them right away, so that it can be created once and used again and again in future. So if you have to pick up a career in this whole domain, what are the activities you can do? The activities would involve something like a AR VR developer, the main code behind the application, the 3D artist and the designer. So it's a combination of a code and a design. Just like in web technologies, you have a web front-end designer developer and you have a web backend developer. Similarly, here you can do a AR VR developer role. You can play 3D artist, UI and UX designer, the simulation engineer, people who would help bring the real world feel onto the virtual world. The product manager, the hardware engineer, because it is a lot of hardware related activities, and the XR researcher. XR is basically, X means a variable keyword, like in mathematics. So AR, VR, MR, which is mixed reality, everything can be clubbed together in one word called as XR. Many times XR is also called as extended reality. So basically all the virtual, augmented, mixed reality aspect put together, and you can become a XR researcher and provide value to the organization. So what are the skills required to get into this domain? The skill required on the technical front would be use of tools like Unity, Unreal, C Sharp, C++, JavaScript, using all of them with various AR and VR SDKs, the software development kit. If you know how to code, and if you know how to code in these kind of a virtual environment where these applications like Unity, Unreal, and there are a lot of new applications coming in, then you can take any of the technical role in this domain. Along with that, there's a lot of soft skill required, which is like the creativity, the power of storytelling. If you can express your story in a 3D world, how would you present it? That soft skill is required. Problem solving, user centered design, and making sure that the final experience of a user is coming in a very, very effective manner. That's one role which can be taken up for a lot of people, and that's a soft skill that would be required. If you have any questions, you can keep dropping them on the chat box so that we can cover them and take it ahead. So if you look at the educational pathway for this industry or this domain, what are the ways how you can proceed? One of the method would be either you go into a computer science stream do a design, game development, and other degrees together. Or the alternate option is attend a lot of hackathon, boot camp, workshop, and learn it. But what suits best is at one place you get both. You get learning of design, a degree in development of XR, VR, AR, a computer science degree along with it, and a mix of the hackathon, bootcamp, and workshop all delivered at one place so that you have a overall development in this domain. What are the companies which are hiring in AR VR? There are a lot of established players like, as we discussed, Meta, Apple, Google, Unity, Unreal, Microsoft. A lot of hiring is happening in this domain, and these hirings are very, very specialized. But having said that, a lot of hiring is also happening in a various emerging startups, including Bharatverse. A lot of hiring can be done in this domain where people can set up a complete unit of AR and VR and create content, bring experiences, bring businesses around it. Some of the examples are like Niantic and Magic Leap, spatial computing. Uh, a lot of such kind of applications are coming, and a lot of companies have gone ahead and created metaverses like Decentraland and other metaverses which are there. You can go ahead, create your own virtual world in that setup and bring in a lot of users. If you ask me what is a career tip or how do you create a presence or a mark in this domain, along with your studies, along with you doing your courses at Lovely, what you can do is you can create demos in the Unity and Unreal kind of an application. How will that help? You would go ahead and explore various industries and create videos, create AR VR content, which would showcase to the potential company which would going to hire you that how skilled you are in that particular area. Create your strong portfolio on platform like GitHub, LinkedIn, and a personal website where you have spoken about it, where you have discussed the ideas, where you have showcased what all you have done so far and how you can help people's problem. Then you can go ahead and create your own network in the XR community. Meet with other XR experts, AR VR experts, meet with other people who are working in the industry, create your network, already showcase your interest and the work you are doing. That will open up a lot of prospects for you. And then try looking at different internships with startups and different labs so that your overall portfolio in the industry is getting created. Having said that, for AR VR world, metaverse world, but this holds true for any industry. These tips will help you gain a good upper edge among other in your peer industry to get a good job. Okay, what are the future scopes? What are the future AI integration in metaverses and WebXR? So WebXR is also another small aspect where the XR is presented on the web browser in front of you. If you can use that, that would be a future. What all is needed, required in the future area? You can create a new world for yourself, a new career, a new frontier in this domain, and it's completely dependent on your choice, your expertise, and your vision. But while you're doing that, start small, think big and think very big, and start building that immersive experience for the people so that the world looks at you and they know that you are capable of doing that. Let me take you shortly about what Bharatverse is and how do we do, what all activities we do here. We started creating a travel metaverse for Bharat. We know that There are so many places in India to go and see. So we created something called as Bharatverse. It's a wordplay between Bharatvarsh, which is the better or full name for the country, and a metaverse. So wordplay brought Bharatverse as Bharat ka metaverse, where we are creating virtual equivalent of India. So on the application, which is currently under maintenance, but we are building on top of it something very big, where you can wear a virtual headset and get immersed into that environment, be there without even a physical travel. Suppose you want to visit, you're in Punjab right now, you want to visit a tea plantation in Kerala. Let's take that as an example. Once you start using the Bharatverse app, you can actually navigate using the controller button on the Oculus or any other VR device. Navigate to Kerala on the map, open up the map, look at a tea garden, and you can really experience as if you are there in that real world. Most of the metaverses which we have seen has one issue. It's all animation or graphics created by someone. That's not the real world or real like feel. That's one difference which we are trying to bring in Bharatverse, is make it a photorealistic metaverse. What is a photorealistic metaverse? You get a real view, real photos, as if you are in person standing at that location. Suppose you want to travel to Victoria Memorial of Calcutta. You are traveling to Calcutta. Somebody said that, okay, while you're going to Calcutta, make sure you go to the Victoria Memorial. Whether you want to go there or not completely depends whether you like that kind of a stuff or not, and what's inside for me to visit. But if you get an opportunity to visit the metaverse and experience almost in a photorealistic way the interiors of the Victoria Memorial Palace created there, then you get to know more and the actual history of the place, because there is audio narration happening. You know the real value of going there, and once you are there in person, you can explore and enjoy it much better because you have already learnt about it. Think of a religious place where maybe your parents or grandparents want to visit, but because of the health, they cannot travel. If that experience can be brought down to the people at the living room using a virtual headset, it would make a lot of sense and a lot of impact. That's what one of the objective of Bharatverse is, to make a virtual equivalent of India, a virtual travel world with photorealistic content. It's not like you have created a Gurdwara visit with graphic designer sitting in building the wall, adding a wallpaper on top of it. In fact, an immersive experience as if you're really in that particular Gurdwara on that particular day. That kind of an experience which you're building is a part of the project called as Bharatverse. We always lovingly call it as Bharat Ka Metaverse. Okay. Why should you choose the AR, VR, and Metaverse course at LPU? I would request Atul sir to join us and give a few inputs about the program.
Sure, sir. So the AR/VR program at LPU, it is going to be a completely hands-on kind of program where the students are going to learn the theoretical concepts and alongside they are going to perform the practical part also. And for this program, we have a dedicated lab available in the campus where all the equipments have been arranged, using which the students are going to get a real-time experience of how those AR/VR devices are going to work, how they can create applications and real-life experiences in a virtual environment, and how you can experience them through the devices also. So it is going to be 16 courses which the students are going to go through, and there could be possibility that we integrate few courses together as per their relevance, and all the courses, they are going to be practical hands-on kind of courses where the teachers or the trainers, they are going to just deliver the content, and alongside an application or a kind of graphics, whatever is the possibility will be created by the students. And almost every course is going to end up with a kind of project which the students are going to build, and that will just be a kind of demonstration of the technology which they have learned throughout that course. So a completely immersive experience led by the industrial trainers who are going to just make the students just learn the things closer to how they are used and implemented inside the industry. So over to you, Rohit sir.
Thanks a lot, Atul sir. So with that, you got an idea how the whole program will be structured into different semesters and modules, and the kind of hands-on experience you will be getting. We will also make sure that during the whole course, there are interactions with people who are creating real-world impactful platforms. You get an experience of that and learn from that platform. So in program overview, I'll take you through the whole steps in which this immersive experience and world will be created. The program will provide essential knowledge, and not only knowledge, the practical experience around computer graphics, the 3D modeling. As you can see, even in this example screenshot, in a city planning, a metaverse can be used very effectively. But for that, you have to create various 3D models. And that 3D modeling is going to be a big job opportunity very soon, because a lot of companies and smart cities and everybody is moving toward it. So not only the theory of 3D modeling, but also how to create those models and learn more about the human computer interaction. This is a way the whole computing has been evolved in last so many years. Initially, the computing started where you would have punch holes on a tape and the tape would be inserted into computer, tape punching and other activities. From there to your keyboard, mouse and stuff. Now that world has moved beyond, where most of the interactions are happening using voice-based control and other such control. You can use your audio-based, visual-based, gesture-based human computer interaction. Moving forward, the metaverse experience will emphasize more on that, and you would get a real interesting world of the HCI, the human computer interface. AI, as it is actively getting built and a lot of activities happening, we will see how AI can enhance the whole metaverse experience and how you can use AI to build better and faster in the both augmented reality and virtual reality. The basically program objective which we are trying to create along with LPU, with all efforts from Atul sir and team and our team, we're trying to provide a comprehensive understanding of what these technologies are, what are the impact they will be bringing, what are the applications where it can be used, develop the right technical skills in either the modeling or interaction or storytelling or rendering or even programming. Once you have that, we would equip the students with more of a practical experience of AR, VR development and tools and frameworks. This will help foster create the problem solving environment, the innovation environment in the whole AR, VR world. Help student go and get ready for the industry role in this area, and ensure the industry engagement through extra input, workshop, competitive events, and all is brought in. I'll give you another very interesting example. We were working with a fashion institute. Think of the use case of AR and VR. We are working with a fashion institute to create a metaverse experience for the fashion industry. The way whole fashion industry works is you get an outfit, and on the ramp you see fashion model walking with that outfit. People look at it and then people mentally try to imagine how will this look on a street, in an office environment, maybe on a beach, maybe on a mountain hike, maybe inside the car, how this particular outfit will look like. The metaverse we were creating with them included this, that a virtual avatar will wear a cloth and will be transposing from different scenes. Suddenly the viewer says, okay, show me how will this outfit look in an office environment. Click of a button, it's all changed. Okay, can you show me if this same clothing in a coffee shop, but instead of a green color, use a pink color? If that has to be done in a real world, think of the requirement, the pressure on the team to get new color clothes, match exactly, cut, sew, prepare, and then try it out. With the world of a metaverse fashion show, it becomes a matter of few clicks. On the color palette, you go and select the color. In the background, you change the background and you see really how does it look like. A lot of people are working in this domain. Even if you have seen the recent keynote session by Google, Google also has created an application where you can stand in front of a virtual environment, take a photo, and try various clothes on yourself, that how that particular piece of cloth look on you. What is this? This is an augmented reality application. Everybody is working very hard on it, and you can be a part of this new technical but as well as very interactive and very interesting domain. What would be the learning outcomes of this program? You will demonstrate proficiency in AR, VR, XR, MR development with the standard and most relevant tools. You will understand the basics of HCI, the human and computer interfacing, and the user experience in an immersive environment. I'm doing a lot of emphasis on this word immersive again and again because you have to see it to believe it. Many of you might have played those ghost games or roller coaster games on a VR goggle in a different mall. Think that as just one very minor use case which can be done with a immersive environment. If you have to replace that with a real world situation, it could be walking inside a coal mine and seeing the amount of coal extracted, or walking close or as much as walking virtually inside a, say, maybe petroleum refinery, and see how the different refining process of petroleum works. In a real world you can never ever get into that building, but in a virtual world you can experience it and use that as a training material for the new joinees, for the employees, and even for the world at large, that how does the whole petroleum refinery works. These immersive experiences are something which are waiting to be created, and you can be in those teams to create that kind of an experience. Then integrate these with all the new age stuff like artificial intelligence, IoTs, haptic devices. We didn't cover haptic devices. Haptic devices even more interesting. Suppose you have to play or learn playing cricket on a virtual headset where your trainer is none other than Sachin Tendulkar. Every time you do a shot, the trainer can teach you whether you are doing it right or not. But Moving a stick empty in the air versus hitting a ball with a bat are two different things. Can you create an experience where you have a virtual bat in the hand, you are playing with it, and the moment the ball hits the bat, it feels like as if your hand has got the jerk. That jerk motion of your hand will be calculated in the haptics, and that's how you can build that haptic application. You can also help conduct research and contribute in advancement in this whole domain of AR VR. That's it from my side. If we have questions, or we can discuss it here now. Atul sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dr. Atul Malhotra and Mr. Rohit Shrivastava. So we have some questions. Thanks for giving me chance to address your questions. Now let's start with the first question. Gurpreet is here with us. Gurpreet is asking, what are the key skills and qualifications needed to build a successful career in AR, VR, and the metaverse?
The most important skill set that you would require is your thought process and creativity to learn that domain and bring out the best. But beyond that, if you're looking for the technical skills, and you would require to learn the basics of human and computer interfacing, the basics of AR VR applications, and all these various other toolkits like the Unity, Unreal, C Sharp, plus how that can get integrated with Apple SDK, with Android SDK in the AR and VR world. Those all will be part of the curriculum when you will be learning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rohit. I hope, Gurpreet, you got your answer from our today's expert. So Radhika is with us. Radhika is asking, what are the ethical and privacy concerns professionals should consider when designing immersive virtual experiences?
Radhika, very good question, and it's a very important aspect to be covered while you are trying to create any immersive experience. I'll bring it down to the real world today. One of the most favorite stuff for a lot of people is to create interesting videos and reels and YouTube shorts when they travel to any place. One of the biggest privacy aspect which people should always remember in those cases, who else is getting captured in your video frame? Are you in any way affecting their privacy by capturing those videos? The similar aspect will reflect in the AR VR world as well. While you are trying to create a content, a lot of privacy aspects and secrecy aspects have to be maintained. How does this AR VR creation works? In most of the cases, when it has to be from a particular height, drones are used to capture the video stream and then convert into different models. Now, while you're using a drone, there is a possibility that it may invade into private space of someone. It is a responsibility of the content developer at that point of time to make sure that such content which may be privacy invading for someone is removed or blurred. I'll give you one example there. I'm sure you would have seen Google Street View, where a Google's car with multiple cameras on top of it just drives through, and then you get a picture of the whole area around. If you notice all of those content, all of those Street View maps, you would see any number plate of a car is always blurred out. Any house number, it is blurred out. Any name, address, it is blurred out. What is that? That's Google's way of respecting people's privacy. If there are people on the road or on the sides of the road, their faces are blurred out. This is a very important aspect in the whole immersive experience thing, and must be taken care of and can be brought by the trainers while they are teaching. If they are teaching well in the whole domain of privacy and security, that skill can be learned and be leveraged later on.
Thanks so much, Mr. Rohit. I hope, Radhika, you got your answer from our today's expert. So, someone is asking here, what roles and job opportunities currently exist in the metaverse, and how are they expected to evolve over the next decade?
See, one of the most important aspect of the roles we discussed, they are typicals of the AR or VR developer, the 3D artist, the hardware engineer, the researcher. With advent of AI and a strong background knowledge of this domain, there's a big opportunity to lead this space from front end. So students can actually go ahead, be a leaders in this domain very fast if they understand the actual use cases, how they can bring it out to the world. Plus, the basics is strong, then any more advancement like upcoming of AI and building such experiences with AI, the experienced people would be first and fast both to develop and bring it out slowly. Where it's like any other world of computing, you would remember earlier days the cost of the computer was so exorbitantly high and prohibitive. From there we have come down to mobile phones at a bare minimum cost where the complete computing is available in hand. Same thing is happening in this industry in AR VR and metaverse world, where the devices which may be costly today, a lot of people are working on it to bring down the cost. Once the cost comes down, the adoption will increase and a lot of content would be required for them to consume. Earlier, when mobile phones were not available, the only place of consumption of videos was on a larger screen, desktop, or laptop. The way mobile phones got activated, you can see the whole video world itself has groomed like very crazy. Similar manner, with more and more people working on the research front, trying to reduce the overall cost of the AR VR experience for the end user, you will see more and more content and objects start getting created for the metaverse, for the AR VR world. You need people to create that, and that's where there's a big career opportunity for everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rohit Shrivastava. I hope all the participants got the answers from our today's expert. So, if anyone have any questions regarding the admissions, they just write on us at admissions@lpu.co.in, and you can do WhatsApp chat with us. Our WhatsApp number is 985256900. I'm repeating the number. It's 985256900. And once again, thanks to our experts, Dr. Atul Malhotra and Mr. Rohit Shrivastava. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again. With the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.